Good evening, everyone. Sarah, the nurturing coach here. Hope you are well. Today, I want to talk about gender and does it play a difference? Does it play any part in treatment? And by that, I don't just mean treatment in terms of antidepressants or counselling, but in treatment in society in general. And I'm going to share my views, and I'd love to hear what yours are. And I personally think that it plays a massive difference. Um, and historically, it's always been the same. For women, they were classed as having hysteria, and it was seen as a totally medical condition. They would try and sort their brain out, and basically try and cure it by chopping things out, lobotomies, that kind of thing. Very horrific, electric shock treatments and all of that. Whereas men, because it was displayed in a different way, usually in violence, they'd be locked up and they'd be put in a prison. So two wrong ways of dealing with it, but very different ways of dealing with essentially the same problem. So how have things changed when we think about things today? Let's look at attitudes. I'm not condoning any behaviours that anyone may have committed. People are responsible for their own actions. But you would not believe the amount of people in our prison system who have mental health conditions. So actually, nothing has changed for men. Nothing has changed in terms of their treatment. They're still deemed as being dangerous to society. There are 9 times out of 10 put in a prison. Now, I know that there are places like Broadmoor that are psychiatric hospitals for people who've committed these crimes, and so there is an element of treatment in there, but essentially they are still prisons. So how about for women? Women, again, they're given meds, and we're given counselling, and women are probably more likely to take those options. Women are more likely to sit and talk because it's what we do. It's part of our genetic makeup. It's part of our language to communicate our feelings. Whereas the men, that's not how they've evolved. They've evolved to be action takers. They were the hunter gatherers. That's part of their DNA, is to actually need to do something practical to change a situation. And so talking therapies, that kind of thing, probably work better for women than they do for men. And I mean, I'm not a man, so I can't 100% comment on that. But from the experiences that I've had with people, men struggle with talking therapies. It doesn't come natural to them. And what they tend to find actually is that they've bottled things up for such a long time, and suddenly they have a talking therapy, and all these old wounds are opened up that actually quite painful, and they're not given any way to deal with them, and which can make it worse, and then can ultimately lead them down two paths. It can lead them to suicide, or it can lead them to violence and prison. So it's not a great outlook for men who have mental health conditions. And I know I'm not talking at all about the condition itself. The condition is different for every single person that suffers from it. I'm simply talking about treatment in terms of how society treats them, but also in terms of what treatment options are available. So I'd love to hear your experiences. Are you a man who's been treated in a certain way? Are you a woman who's been treated in a certain way? Or have you witnessed a man or woman being treated? What are your overall thoughts? I would love to know. But take care, everyone, and speak.